After replacing the rear left window with this brand new half-drop one, what's the best thing to do next? Well, you rip out the other one. Hey, why is he wearing a black shirt? Hi, I'm Eric, and this is my Land Rover Defender Expedition Camper. Not so long ago, I set off to discover the world and ended up in Iraq, where I spent 4 months in lockdown due to the pandemic, after which I returned home. And now, after months of waiting, it's time to restart the world trip. But first, I have to prepare the car for a journey of a lifetime. So welcome to Have Fun and Go. Alright. If you want to know more about the half-drop window and the window guard, go and check out episode 11. I'll put a link in the description down below. If you've already seen it, you know I also bought a Gullwing window, which I installed earlier this week. Hence the black shirt versus the red sweater difference. So here's a little rewind to earlier this week. Removing the old Defender window is a pretty straightforward job. There's a rubber strip that is really easy to remove, and behind that rubber are a zillion rivets holding the window to the body. So first I have to drill them out. After cutting the old adhesive with a car trim removal tool, I can take out the window, and that's it. Now here's the boring part, removing all the old sealant and cleaning everything, so I'll keep this part of the video short. The next step is removing these little ridges with an angle grinder. There's another one over here, and it's the same on the other side, so 4 in total. There's actually a third step because I have to drill some extra holes in the car's body for the new window, which is this all aluminum powder coated Gull Wing. It's from Explore Glazing, just as the half-drop window. And with the kit you have the struts, the nuts and bolts, keys obviously, because it's lockable, and you have a couple of washer plates, and those go behind the window to even the pressure when you install the window. I temporarily installed the Gull Wing to mark and drill the new holes. I'm using masking tape to protect the inside of the drill hole and a piece of foam at the end of the drill to protect the powder coating in case the drill slips. Once the new holes are in, it's time to put a thick layer of sealant onto the back of the Gull Wing. Stick the whole thing into the window frame, bolt it to the car's body, and remove all the excessive sealant. That's it, job's done. Okay, the last step is installing the gas struts. Now tell me, does this look brilliant or does this look brilliant? Now that I've installed the Gull Wing, I can finally finish the kitchen/storage build. But before I can install the kitchen worktop, there's one important step I have to take, and that is the drainage for the sink. So this is a 19mm. I already bought a piece of slang hose. This goes over here like so. And what I have to do now is drill a hole in the Defender's bodywork, in which I'm going to put this little thing, and this is also a 19mm. Now I have to determine where I'm going to drill that hole. Am I going to put it over here, or am I going to put it over here? I'm going to put it over there. I'm going to put the sink somewhere over here. So I'm going to put the drainage over there, so the hose is nicely tucked away in the back. So now I only have to drill a hole in the car's bodywork, no problem. I already drilled a hole for the bolt you see in the back, which is holding this panel, so I can use that as a starting point. So let me just take a quick look underneath the car, and there it is. So I'm going to drill the hole for the drainage just a little bit to the left. I'm going to use this pipe to pre-cut the thread in the Defender's bodywork for the hose connector, which has the same thread size, and that's the upside of aluminum. It's pretty soft, so this should not be a problem. So my plan was to install this connector underneath the car, so this will connect to the one I just installed. But this is not a perfect fit, so I have to find another solution. Until then, it's time to install the kitchen. Yeah, of course I ran out of wood glue, typical. So I'm just going to use the same stuff I used to glue the vinyl to the panel of the kitchen worktop, because this stuff is just perfect. I glued and screwed everything together. That's not going anywhere. So next up is installing the panel. This one, the panel in the front. This goes, let me see, just like so, and I got another one that goes in the back, so I can install those. And after that there is only one storage left, where I'm going to build the electric system and the water system, but that's next up after this. Well, you know where I'm going, right? So, a couple of days have gone by, during which I finished some of the camper build projects. I didn't film it because it's pretty time consuming, and right now I'm going into 6th gear because time is running out, and it's pretty boring to watch, but I can show you the result. Because I'm going to put all the heavy stuff in the bottom storage, I built a divider so it's easier to store everything and to prevent it from bouncing around. And I did the same for the storage in the back. But the biggest project was building the storage compartment for the water system and the electrical system, which is finished. There we go. I built some extra ventilation over there because right behind that panel is where I'm going to put the refrigerator. So these ventilation holes are for the airflow for the refrigerator. Also built some ventilation holes over there. The socket is already installed. And well, next up is installing all the equipment. I also have the big old water filter that goes over there as well. Now that I finished the kitchen slash storage, it's time to build a frame around the Gull Wing, because right now you can still see the Defender's green bodywork and I really want to change that. So my initial plan was to build a wooden frame, just as I did in the previous camper build on the rear left side. This is it, this is the frame, but as you can see, there's a lot of work to build a thing like this. So I'm drastically going to change my plan. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to use this stuff. It's Armaflex insulation. It's really thin, it's only 3 millimeters, and I'm going to use this to even the whole surface. So the whole thing is nice and flat and even. After that, I'm going to stick or glue this felt directly onto the insulation. I thought about creating one piece of felt which is the same size as the wooden window frame, but that's really unnecessary, because if you take a look at this piece in which I already made a cut, you have no idea where it is. I mean, take a good look, but you don't see it because it's right over here. So I'm going to create 4 pieces, one on the left, the top, the right and the bottom. And after that I'm just going to push the felt nicely together so you don't see it anymore. Alright, another project I can cross off the very long list, but happy with the result. And the cherry on the applesauce, or the cherry on the cake, or whatever you want to put the cherry on. I have this piece of wood which I also upholstered with the felt. I'm going to put that over here like so. And for the weird piece of metal that's sticking out over here, I have this piece of wood which I also upholstered with the felt, and I'm going to cover it like so. I have to make it look fancy, but you know, details. And I also installed the L profile and the U profile for the shelf, which I'm going to put over here. But I'm going to tell you all about it in next week's video. It's a funny story. In other words, that's it for this week's video. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment down below, the thumbs up, and bye bye. Is there anything No, that's it. Bye bye. No, wait, there is one thing. I'm thinking about removing these ugly stickers. And with thinking about it, I mean, I'm going to remove the ugly stickers. That's it. Bye bye.